Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Zebu Nation. We are back with FC Cincinnati, and today we're going to bring you the LAFC game that I promised in the last episode. But first, we got some things to talk about. Number one is our little transfer saga. Now, nobody in the comments or on Twitter or anything like that spoke out against Adi to say get rid of him and let's have some chaos. So I'm going to go with my heart and we're going to keep Adi. I've rejected these transfers, for a couple of reasons. We mentioned in the last episode that he's a team leader, all that stuff, fan favorite. So all those still apply. But also, these offers weren't the greatest offers in the world. They still wanted us to pay some of his salary, and, I'm not really down for that. But I think the real main reason is that we are in the middle of a title chase, right? We're trying to win Supporters' Shield. We're trying to keep up with Atlanta United. And you can't really win the Supporters' Shield without consistency. You need a consistent roster. You need consistent points. Every game you need wins and maybe a few draws here and there, but what you got to do is you got to avoid losing streaks. So we can't really afford sort of roster upheaval and sort of find our way and new lineups and all that stuff. Try to find new players, new strikers, and it would just has the possibility of causing too much turmoil, and that might take us out of the Supporters' Shield. Now we could still get things together and put together a run in MLS Cup and still win the Cup. That's no problem. But just winning that Supporters' Shield, like I said, it takes consistency, and with the consistency, you need stability. So we're gonna err on the side of caution here. We can say like we got Przbilko there waiting in the wings to take over. But he's starting to pick up international duty now. So he's a guy who's going to be out on international duty more and more. So I don't know that we can, 100% count on him as the backup to Adi. So it's just a lot of things up in the air. We're going to stick with it. Speaking of the comments, I got some new subscribers out there. So welcome to our little corner of the FM community. Getting close to 200 subscribers, so that's pretty good. I'm sure it could be more. I'm sure we could have more people if I sort of did like subscription drives or whatever, like a PBS telethon kind of thing. But, it's not really what I'm after. I mean, it would be fine and it would be fun, but, if it comes, it comes. I'm not going to press it. We're just going to be happy doing our thing, and that's fine. I hope that's fine for you as well. So let's get to LAFC. Enough blabbing. Take a look at the club here. Overview. What do we got? We got head coach Veljko Paunovic, Serbian. Head coach formerly with Chicago. I thought that name was familiar. He took over from so he's a player at Philadelphia. Yeah, so he's played quite a bit. Played all over the place. Started out Partizan, went to Atletico Madrid for a little while, way back in 2004, 1996 even, to 2004. How old is this guy? 43 years old. So he's done his thing. He's been all over the world. He was the Serbian, juniors coaches for a while, under 19s, under 20s. Then he came to Chicago. Had a decent run at Chicago. Now he's moved up again. I guess you could say it's moving up to LAFC. And, he is their new coach. Pretty good coach, too. 18 motivating. 15 man management, 16 judging player potential, working with youngsters. That goes back to his time at the under 20s. Technical, tactical, mental, attacking, determination, all this stuff. He's a pretty solid coach. So we'll definitely give it to LAFC for snatching him away from Chicago. Meanwhile, their roster, they picked up Bobby Wood as a designated player. Horta and Vela is still hanging around at 32 years old. Man, he started out this season having a heck of a season in real life MLS here. He's looking like a player of the year candidate for sure. MVP. They were chanting MVP at him last game. So I definitely don't doubt that. He's still good, still 15 pace. I mean, only down to 6 strength. But, the rest of him, he's looking really good. Horta is there. Walker Zimmerman suspended. Latif Blessing. I mean, they still got a really good team. Diamande is still there. Diego Rossi, they've loaned him out. What is this? Tired. Where'd they loan him to? On loan to Phoenix. What's up with that? Why would you loan Diego Rossi to Phoenix? That seems like some sort of contract dispute. Making $1.16 million. So did they have too many designated players and have to loan him out? That seems like bad management, but it's creative. We'll give him that. That's for sure. Tyler Miller's still there in goal. Moutinho, Perez, Joshua Perez. He seems like I was gonna say, he seems like some sort of regen or something. 16 pace. He doesn't have a photo. So maybe he's not a regen. If he was a regen, he'd have a face, right? He'd have a goofy computer-generated face. So they picked him up in 2018 on a free. Hasn't done much for him. Anyway, they look like they've got a pretty good team. Maybe they're a little thin defensively, though. They got some blank dudes here. Let's take a look at their registration. I mean, we're going real... What is this? Get out of here. We're going really deep into this squad. They've only got 21 players. 3.96 million. So they got plenty of salary cap room. They're just a little low on body. So we'll have to take a look at their defense and see who they pick for defense. Oops. Wait. We got to get to... Yeah. So we are 6-4 favorites. We're playing at home. 21,929 tickets sold. Marcos de Oliveira, 0.8 cards per match, so we're good with that. Biggest strength is finishing for LA. And yeah, they do have a lot of very good offensive players on their team. I think defense, they're going to be out of luck, especially with Zimmerman suspended, Moutinho unregistered. Yeah, they got roster issues. Yeah. So let's see what we can do to these boys. See if we can just, have our logistics beat them because we're so much better at handling the cap and the roster. So, we got Bendik in goal. Lima, their leading assist man, 7 assists on the season, playing well. 7.26 rating. Maloka C. Velasquez. Okay, he's a central defender. 17-year-old central defender. 6'5", 16 jumping reach, 15 marking, 13 tackling. I mean, he may be a young kid, but he looks pretty promising, so that's fine. And then next to him is another regen of some sort, Brett Harvey. He's probably more of a winger than a fullback, 19 years old. Not a tremendous defensive player, so we might be able to take advantage of Brett Harvey on that right-hand side. Who's this guy? 24-year-old Edward Atuesta. He looks okay. Just sort of average dude. Patrick Valverde. Again, not really a midfielder, more of an attacking midfielder, but he looks okay as well. So LA is definitely in some sort of transitional period, but they do have Horta, Blessing, Vela, and Diamande, so they can still score. Diamande, 7.36 rating, highest on the team. Vela, 7 goals in 17 games, so they're still dangerous. Meanwhile, we've had to do a little bit of shuffling. We do have a couple of guys out on international duty. So we got Hudson in goal. Stevenson still holding it down at left back, still improving. Only 6.7 rating, though, so he hasn't been playing particularly well, but he hasn't been playing poorly either. Wilson, we got Richards back in the lineup. Aguirre at right back, Akechi, DeVries, Acosta, Sonora, and Adi. So our starting front line is in there. Let's go. Pep talk. I don't know. Come on, guys. Show me what you can do. No. Nobody cared about that. Do not ask the assistant. That would be terrible. Let's close down on Horta. Yeah, I guess that's it. We don't really want to press any of those guys. So, Tunnel Talk. Speculation is mounting over Adi and his contract. Let's let the assistant talk about that. I don't really want to talk about that. Talked about it enough. Probably going to let his contract run out at the end of the season. It's really, in terms of getting value for him, it's not the best thing to do. But, maybe mitigating any sort of backlash from the team. I found it's best if you let a guy go in the off season. People are less likely to go crazy. Philippe nearly gets a steal there. We are in the blues, of course. LA in their traditional black on black. Here's Sonora on the right-hand side. Sends one back post to DeVries. DeVries, they let him just walk in. They let him waltz to the front door and just lay it in. That was some terrible defense. And look who it was. It was that right back that we focused on. He's more of a winger. He just has no answer for DeVries. He just he doesn't know what to do. He's not a defensive player. So, 1-0. I don't know if these defensive problems for LA are recent, if it's just a result of Zimmerman being suspended. That's why, because I think they have been playing Zimmerman at right back, or maybe they've been playing some of these other guys at right back, but they definitely can't be that good with this kind of guy playing regularly for them. I don't see it. Their defense would not be good enough. So, it's got to be some kind of recent roster problems, either injuries or suspensions or whatnot. I guess we could have checked their trades, see if they traded somebody. Sorry about that. I had to hit the cough button. My question was really why would they be so low on the salary cap? It would probably most likely come from a trade where they got rid of somebody. Here's Aguirre, sends one in. Sonora recovers to Acosta, triple covered. Drops it back to Philippe. He's got Aguirre coming forward. Aguirre across. Nope, can't center it. Philippe's going to have to reset the offense now. Okay, Sonora again gets it to Acosta. Out wide, Aguirre. This has been a long possession. There's Acosta. Looking pretty good here. LA just defensively can't stop us, especially when our fullbacks come forward like that. They just let Acosta hang out on the doorstep because they've got to double cover Adi. They can't just leave the big man out there in front of the goal. They gotta try to push him out of there somehow. And that leaves Acosta wide open. Getting Acosta back in the lineup has been a pretty big boost for us. It's not that Crispum is bad or anything. It's just that, Acosta is one of our better players, if not our best player. There's Vela, speaking of best players, off the crossbar. Aguirre. That's the one thing that LA can do. They can definitely score with the best of them. So they can even the game up quickly if we let them, especially if we let Vela run around. What was that? What was that, assistant coach man? Analysis is what we're looking at. Valverde is getting too much space. That's fine. Blessing will close down on him. Get back to the field. It's Valverde. Yeah, we'll leave him. He's not that dangerous of a character, I don't think. No. All right. 2-0. First half. Pretty good. DeVries and Acosta. Again, those two guys have been the linchpin of our team for a couple of seasons now. Very pleased with your performance. Let's go. Start the second half. I mean, it's no North Dakota State versus NC Central. I'll tell you what, that's what I'm watching on the TV right now. It is March Madness, so I might be a little distracted during some of these games because I'm going to be watching college basketball. There's Catchy scores from about 35 yards out. Just turns and blasts it. And the ball seemed to float a little bit too, but he just, I don't know, the keeper kind of flailed at him. Look at that. That's 40 yards out. I don't know. It's one of those goals that's going to keep getting farther and farther away from the goal with each telling of it. Be from midfield by the time we get to the end of the year. Now, does that goal compete with Przybylko's goal earlier? I don't know. Przybylko's goal was from a wide angle, and it was like a little bit more looping and, you know, corner of the goal. That was straight on, but still, those are two of the goals that will be up for goal of the season, I'm sure. There's Latif. Let's close down on him. Stevenson, nice tackle, but it does go straight to Dio. He's got Vela wide open. Vela. Vela. That's what the LAFC guy says whenever Vela scores. Just yells Vela. And who can blame him, honestly? He's an exciting player, but, I mean, look at that. He's just wide open there. That's as easy as it gets. Poor Hudson left one-on-one. There you go. LAFC bringing it back. They got one back. It's not even at the 60-minute point. Lima is tired. Velasquez got a yellow card for them. Got a Catchy. You may have noticed Philippe is back. We dropped Lafc this game. Not that Lafc has played badly or anything like that. It's just we like to get Philippe in the game a little bit more. Make sure everybody gets some playing time. Richie Salvador is also back. I think he's played more games for the national team this year than for us. So we're going to have to work him in the lineup at some point as well. You know, that sort of brings to mind Akechi. Like, what do we do with Akechi? Do we keep him? Do we trade him for big bucks and play Richie Salvador? Because Richie Salvador, I think he'll be 21 next year. And that's going to be about the time we want to get him in the starting lineup, if not this season. So, you know, you've got to start thinking about the future and roster and stuff like that. But it's not that Akechi is, like, old or anything. What is he? He's 27. Worth $6 million. So, you know, nobody's really come after him. So I don't know what we would do. We could deal him and get some money for him, but I don't know. He's so good. He's not really getting. His only problem is fitness, honestly. Here's Horta sending one in. Richards gets it out to Acosta. Acosta's going to start the counterattack. That was not a great pass downfield. Sort of miscommunication there with Adi. Richards heads it out to Sonora. Sonora, no miscommunication here. He sends it forward. Adi all alone tries to cross it, but nobody there, and there's the end of the game. So that was a whole lot of nothing there in the second half. Well, I guess LA got the one goal, but Yeah, another game where we got up early and just sort of stuck it out. So that's fine. That seems to be our MO this season. 22 shots, only 4 on target. We probably should have dialed that back in the second half. 16 fouls, only 46% possession, but still Aguirre with 2 assists. Good game for him. Vela got his goal, but it was not enough. So there we go. LAFC, good win. Boys, let's see what's up next. See what, maybe we can play a doubleheader here real quick. I'm pretty sure it's another Western Conference team. North Dakota State's winning, if you're curious. Let's continue. Let's see. Schedule. Vancouver up next. And that's going to be the end of our West Coast swing. Then we got Philadelphia in the U.S. Cup. Philadelphia again right after that. Toronto, Columbus. Yeah, so then our real season begins after Vancouver. So I guess we'll play that game, and then we'll get ready for the rest of the season. So, pause. Okay, we are back, and it's another one of those weeks that seem to take forever. Just so much stuff happened this week. Got the little news section here. So, we've been signing a couple of contracts. It's that time of year. We're getting close to like the 6 months till the end of the season. So, people are starting to get anxious about their contracts. So, we've re-signed Nuhu to a new contract. That's good. Seattle has been apparently hitting the rumor mill, saying they're going to go after Hudson. We'll see about that. St. Duke is out on international duty, and he apparently played very well. And, we got several players out on international duty. The Gold Cup is going on, so all the North American teams right now are playing in the Gold Cup. St. Duke had a goal, 8.3 rating, so I guess it's good that Haiti didn't drop him. Outstanding for him to see that. Nuhu also over there playing in the African Nations Cup. His team won over Ghana. Is that correct? No, Cameroon. Yeah, that's correct, Cameroon. Anyway, and then St. Duke signed a new contract as well. So both of our guys with new contracts played very well. We had some injuries as well. Przybylko is out. Aguirre suffers an injury. Acosta suffers an injury. So just during the week off, it's just suddenly everybody goes crazy. Glad we signed him to a new contract, 24 years old. He's still making too much money at $365,000, but I decided to re-sign him anyway, just because he's a valuable player. Now, speaking of international duties, we do have 3 players out right now. Richie Salvador back on the U.S. under-20s. Zach Steffen, of course, out for Team USA. We can take a look at Team USA. Greg Berhalter is still the coach, so that hasn't changed because we haven't played a World Cup yet, so I guess they're just letting him prove himself in the World Cup, which I guess is a good idea. Give a new coach 4 years to implement his plan and his tactics and all that stuff, and Berhalter is the kind of guy who needs that because he's got a definite system, and he's got a way that he likes to play. John Brooks is our captain. Captain America, 28 years old, central defender, playing for Wolfsburg at the moment. Making a pretty nice paycheck over there, $4.65 million. I mean, look at this guy. For a central defender, 17 strength, 17 pace, 17 jumping reach. Absolutely. 15 tackling, 15 marking. Only 12 heading, but everything else is pretty darn good. Those physicals are out of control. So that's, definitely good player to have on the back line there. We looked at the squad earlier. I mean, we kind of looked at just their dollar values. Sargent is up there now, a 4.5-star player at 21 years old now, no longer the 17-year-old. So he is definitely looking improved. Nice mentals, some decent technicals. Physicals are kind of okay. Jumping reach and strength. Not the fastest, speediest guy you've ever seen, especially for a striker. But he does have that size, so maybe he can play like a target man kind of role. Anyway, it looks like a good squad, at least good enough for the U.S. Gold Cup. Although I think the B team is playing in the Gold Cup, because the A team is probably getting ready for World Cup qualifiers. We got Jesse Gonzalez. Are any of our guys? Christopher Richards. Yeah, Christopher Richards is out for the B team as well. So we've got, because of all that stuff, all the injuries, we can take a look at the medical center real quick. You can see Przybylko, twisted ankle, 2 to 4 weeks. Acosta, 2 to 4 weeks, basically, as well. Aguirre just coming off a bruised ankle, so he might not be quite match fit. We'll get to today's preview versus Vancouver. We'll see what kind of team we can put together. We are 5-4 favorites playing at BC Place, going up against our old pal Bob Bradley. Tendency to punch the ball is their biggest strength, which doesn't seem great to me, if I'm honest with you. Of all the things your team could be good at, that seems like the worst thing for them. So, unless their best thing was like own goals, that's the only thing I can think of that would be worse than tendency to punch the ball being your biggest strength. So our news stories, Bradley fears another Cincinnati defeat, so it's not looking good for Vancouver. And here we are. So, lineup, Acosta injured. Out. Get out. Richards on Team USA. So get out. Aguirre just coming back from injury. He seems okay, but you know what? We have Blackman, so we might as well throw him in there just to keep Aguirre safe. I mean, Blackman is a fine replacement, so there's no problem there. Przybylko, we got to take him off the bench because of his injury. So it's a bit of an interesting lineup we got going on. Of course, we can bring Crispum in, no problem. And then central defense, we got Justin Glad. We can bring him back in. Okay, so there we got a full team. Now we need a couple of reserves. We, of course, need our striker. Where do you go? Hembut. Can't bring in St. Duke because he's on international duty. So we got either Youngs or Wadey. I'll probably bring in Youngs because if something happens, we can bring him in, and then Crispum can go left or right. So that's okay. And we still have Kiri Shelton, so he's a possibility there as well. So we got a bit of a rotated lineup. Oh, we'll get in there. Blackman is lacking match sharpness. Say that 5 times in a row. I don't know about that. Here we go. You saw the lineup. Hudson, Stevenson, Wilson, Glad, Blackman, Philippe, Akechi, DeVries, Crispum, Sonora, Adi. Meanwhile, Vancouver, Tim Malia in goal. Colson, Mound, Gizal, Rosenberry on defense. Philippe Vela, J. Vela, Juan Camilo Vela. 22 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. Not great. Shea Denner. Weiss is their highest rated and most assists. 4 goals, 4 assists, 7.15 rating. I guess that's okay. And Blondell, likewise, 3 goals, 4 assists. So it seems to me that Vancouver not scoring a lot of goals this season. Let's get to the dressing room. Hand over to the assistant. That's fine. Opposition. We'll close down on Denner. Other than that, we're fine. Let's go. Tunnel talk. Can you tell us why Aguirre isn't involved today? He is being rested. Oh, no. 2 questions. Preparation's been affected by the 14-day gap. That's why it seemed like it was so long. 14 days. I guess that must have been for the Gold Cup. But anyway, it's been good for us. It's fine. Look at all the empty seats. Yikes. That's bad. That's real bad. All right, here we go. We are, of course, in the blues with the orange trim. De Vries wins a ball out of bounds. Quick highlight here. 27 seconds. Stevenson with the throw-in. To Crispum, who's out wide. Centers to Akechi. To Philippe. He's going to take that shot off the post. Shea's going to start the counterattack for Vancouver. Seems like it could be 3-on-2. Not a great pass out wide to Denner. Wilson gets there. Yeah, that was a pretty bad pass on the counterattack. You can see Vancouver's offensive efficiency is just not very good. Blondell, you know, he looks good, I guess. He's pretty average. I mean, he doesn't have a ton of weaknesses, but no real strengths either. Here's Akechi on the free kick. Sends it. Oh, boy, that was a terrible header. Rosenberry, what are you doing? He just served it up to De Vries like he was on our team. What happened there? Rosenberry with the assist. Sends it in. Yeah, look at that. That was just awful. Thank you very much. I wonder if he's got some money on the game. That was terrible. Here's Philippe. Drops it off to Weiss. Send it out wide to Blondell. It wasn't the most efficient-looking set piece you've ever seen. Denner, though, gets it to Weiss. He's defended. No, he gets around several defenders, but he can't put his shot on target. It was a nice move, just a bad finish. Hudson, 12 minutes. It's already got a goal in all these attempts. Sonora wins a header. Gets it back from Philippe. Crispum's going to start the offense. Ketchy out wide to De Vries. They seem to be sleeping on De Vries. He sends it back post to Sonora. Heads it over. De Vries has a little room to operate here on the near side. We'll see if we can take advantage of that. Not necessarily going to tell him to send the ball down the left flank. We'll see if it happens naturally. He's sitting on the 7.3 and a gift of a goal. More highlights. 20 minutes down in the first half. This game's going to take forever with all these highlights. Oh, great through ball to Adi. Adi. Malia is there with the stop, but, I mean, that wasn't terrible defense. That was just a great pass. Again by Sonora. Akechi. Corner on the far side. Sends it back post. Malia is there. How is old Tim Malia these days? 35 years old. 15 reflexes, still looking pretty good. I thought I saw him on the waiver wire recently. Here's Crispum to Akechi. Because the international transfer window just opened. De Vries off the crossbar. Coulson tackles it out of touch for a corner. The international transfer window just started up, and I've seen a lot of players getting cut to make room for new transfers. Akechi sends one back post, just wide by Wilson. So I feel like Tim Malia just got picked up. Take a look at his history here. Vancouver, March waiver draft. That was March, though, not recently. So he did get waived, just not recently. Okay. So who was it? I saw another. Is there another Malia in the league? Or was it another goalkeeper I'm thinking of? I can't tell you, and I'm sure you can't tell me, so we'll just leave it as a mystery. Yeah. So we're not playing too bad. Lots of 6.8s and 6.7s. They're also not playing too terrible. 6.6s and 6.5s. Another throw-in. Far side. Blackman this time to Sonora. Loses it. Here comes Vancouver on the attack. Denner gets it forward to Blondell at the magic spot. Can't let him get to the magical spot because they're just going to score. That's our play. Hudson, not happy about that one. It's hard to blame him. Why do we only have 3 defenders? Oh, there's our 4th defender out wide. So, just a little bit of a mix-up there in defense. Not sure who was supposed to take that. Probably the left back. We'll blame that on Stevenson, I guess. It's his positioning. His positioning is only 9, although it is getting better. So we'll have to use that as a teachable moment. And this is something new, something we haven't happened in a while. Vancouver manages to tie it up after we take the early lead. We've got 9 shots, 4 on target. 52% possession, though, so we're possessing the ball. It's just we've only got the 1 goal. So pep talk, let's go. Not going to make any changes just yet. We'll save that. We'll keep it on the attack like we normally do and see if we can just play our way out of this. Shea, turnover to Crispum. Crispum across midfield. Plenty of space. Head down, sends it across DeVries. Can't quite center. A catchy shot is deflected. And we're back on the attack. Back with another corner. Far side DeVries. Bends one across. Nobody there. I think I should have DeVries and Akechi sort of switch corners. I think a left-footed guy shouldn't take the corner on the left side. I don't know, because he bends it away from the goal instead of towards the goal. Is that better? Is that worse? Does it matter? It seems like you'd want to bend it towards the goal, but I don't know. Hudson bombs it downfield. DeVries wins the header. Adi chips it near side to Sonora. Sonora going to take it himself. Can't get the ball on target. We're going to give these boys a concentrate. That's what I like to do when you're overwhelmed. Come on. When we're getting shots but they're not on target, I like to give them the concentrate. So here we go. Throw in from Blackman. Near side. Easy flip to Philippe. Back to Blackman. To Adi. Gets the header on target, but it was not a lot of steam behind that one. Yeah. I was about to say that it looked like it said Mela instead of Malia, but it's Malia. Philippe wins the header, but he turns it over. The other Vela at midfield. The non-Carlos Vela. A lot of yellow cards for Vancouver. They definitely have gotten a lot of yellows and reds this season as we looked at the mid-season stats. They were all over the place. Shea centers it. Pass goes all the way across the formation. Header off the crossbar. How many crossbars have been hit this game? Team is still overwhelmed. Okay, they're now back to being composed. Keegan Rosenberry, huh? He's an accomplished crosser of the ball. Okay. We're getting shots on goal, but they're coming from too far out. Should encourage our players to play more long balls. Let's give that one a try. Sonora to Philippe with the shot off another one, off the post. Just missing by inches. Lots of yellow cards. 5 yellow cards in the game so far. We've taken 17 shots, 7 on target. $74 minutes. Should we make a sub? Who would we sub in and or out? I don't really see anybody that I'm real interested in subbing out. You know, maybe Lafc for Philippe. Maybe Clute for Stevenson, but it's like, be doing it just to do it. So I guess we'll do it just to do it. Maybe we can change, you know, just change the team dynamics. Bring in a couple of veterans. Tell them to get out there and do their thing. Teixeira, his free kick goes wide. 78 minutes. Let's demand more. I mean, a draw on the road isn't the worst thing to ever happen, but it is Vancouver. We'd like to get those extra points. What are we doing with team instructions? Let's try working the ball in the box for the last 5 minutes of the game. Probably not how you should do that. Seems more like something you invest in all game long. Anyway, there's Malia. Sends it downfield. Vela. Vancouver on the attack. Rosenberry getting forward. Rosenberry should be covered. Clute wins the header. Oh, there's a turnover. De Vries has some room down the far sideline. He's got Crispum steaming down the middle of the field. Nobody sees him just yet. Back out wide to De Vries to continue his run. There he finally spots Crispum and the goal. There we go. There we go. This seems like something for the telestrator. Let's see if we can pause it here. Bring up the old telestrator. So here's Crispum right here. We got to kind of keep an eye on him as he makes his way down the field and then finally gets in front of goal. I mean, you look at their defense, and it's just spread out. This guy here, dragging behind the play, so he's really the weak spot in their defense right now, and it allows Crispum to just get right down the field. So that's how it happens. So here we go. Let's watch Crispum. He's staying onside, Yeah, their defense just keeps getting spread out. And Crispum just straight down the middle. Doesn't really veer far left or far right. Just keeps his eye on the front of the goal. And eventually we got around to getting him the ball. So 30 seconds to go in the game, and a late victory this time. Instead of, you know, we have been controlling games kind of from start to finish in recent weeks. So the fact that we're able to still, you know, gut one out and get a gritty win. Philippe with a shot. Hudson. I realize I'm jinxing myself with every word that I speak. But there we go. We get the final whistle. Hudson still can't get any shutouts. But, you know, he's still racking up the wins, so that's fine. 23 shots, 10 on target. That's decent. 15 fouls. Each of us 3 yellow cards apiece. 49%. You know, the fact that we were trying to send the ball long, the fact that we still have 49% possession is still okay. I'm fine with that. And yeah, we got the win. So there we go. 2 wins to keep us in line with Atlanta United. Let's see. Let's get to the continuation here. Let's see what happened. Let's see where we're at. We're still second place. Atlanta United. Oh, they got a game on us now. They played a game in those 2 weeks when we didn't play a game. So, I mean, they're still 7 points up on us, though. So they haven't lost either. 15 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses for them. We got 12 wins, 6 draws, and 2 losses. So it's we're going to have to wait for Atlanta to slip up. Do we play them in the second half? We do. September 4th. That's going to be a big game. Atlanta United. I think what we'll do is I'll probably play these 2 Philadelphia games, and then we'll come back for Toronto and Columbus. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We still got 11 games to go, so that would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be like 6, 7 episodes, or we could start playing a few more games. Come back for New England, and then come back for Atlanta, come back for NYC. Let's take a look at the competitions here. Atlanta, NYC, New England. That seems maybe more reasonable. Maybe we could play DC United too in there. Slip them in there because they're another one of the top teams in the league. So we'll think about that. Maybe moving the save along a little bit. And we'll come back next time. So until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.